What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again with the H.M.S. Argus and Stormworks today. Forgive me for the boat hanging off the side. I wanted to get a little bit away from the port here when I started the video. Unfortunately, these lifeboats on this vessel weren't intended for the new survival mode stuff and vehicle damage, and they've done a whole bunch of damage to the ship already, and actually having it hanging down there is probably a bad idea because it might do damage to the hull, but they damaged basically all the supporting areas, and I'm pretty sure that those levers there are intended to release the lifeboats once they're lowered, and those are damaged and destroyed along with the ability to raise them again. So yeah, it's just gonna, I guess it's just gonna be hanging there, and there's not much I can do about it. So hopefully it doesn't do any damage to the hull because now it's stuck down there. But at any rate, we've got the H.M.S. Argus. This is invented by G.B. Danny, and this thing's awesome. It's a carrier. It's a British carrier, and it comes with a mission here that I've already played, or started playing here, obviously, and that preloads one plane onto it for you, which you can copy and repaste as your heart's content desires. So this is somewhat in the new survival mode, so obviously I don't have first-person lock on. That's one of the things that comes with it. Another thing that also comes in these new survival modes is the ability to damage a vehicle, which is on, and then advanced engines, which is not on this model. So this is using the old engine system. And if you guys want, I'll do a separate video, but there's already been a bunch of people who've talked about the new survival mode. But if you want me to go into more details about it, I certainly will. I've turned on sharks, I've turned on damage and stuff, so we can take damage if we get into a storm or something. We're going to take hits from that. But this is a huge, huge vessel, so let's go ahead and check it out. So we're starting off, we're going to be in the boathouse, or the wheelhouse, I mean. So looking around, we've got controls for lights, other stuff like that. We've got the ability to scuttle the ship so we can quickly sink it. And then there's unlock weather damage. So this thing can take damage from the weather. We've got that. That's our speed, is the main telegraph. The steam valves, that's basically to make the ship go. So you have to light the boiler, and then after a couple seconds after lighting the boiler, you can unlock the steam valves and get this thing underway. I just want to make sure we're not pointed at an island right now. I guess I could best go into my map. Yeah, we should be clear of that island. So let's go ahead. Let's check this out actually. So we've got a chart room back here. So in the chart room, this I guess would be where everybody would be going over their maps and stuff. And then there's ladders down to the lower area. But I'm gonna go ahead and step outside because we can get to them from that way as well. I'm gonna try and keep all the doors closed behind me. Okay, so we're taking hits from something here. One of the lifeboats is causing issues somewhere. It's probably one of the back ones. It's kind of dropping my frame some, guys. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. So we've got a gun turret here, or mock gun turret at least. So that thing's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's got to be one of those ones in the back. Probably the one still on the boat, or it could even be the plane. The plane's propeller looks like it's having issues. I've had a lot of issues with planes since the new updates, where they just don't want to do anything. So this is the first level down, just below the chart room. So we've got the radio room. So we got some stuff to make a mock radio setup here. So that's pretty cool. It plays a little tone when you turn the radio on. Yeah, this guy, he puts a ton of detail into these ships and stuff here. So we've got a captain's quarters down here. He's got a little pencil and paper that he's writing stuff on, a little clock on his desk. Captain's personal bathroom. Yeah, it's really obnoxious, guys. I am sorry about all that banging around. There's not much that can be done about that, though. So captain's quarters, the actual bedroom. So we've got that. We'll go ahead. We'll actually take the ladder this time, so you can once again get down to this next level too by just going outside, or you can actually take the ladder down or up. So we've got the hospital in here, so you got a couple of hospital beds. Kind of cramped quarters down here, but yeah, we've got second officer's quarters. Got the washroom, so we've got this is actually a laundry room in that case. Got the first officer's quarters, so pretty much the same thing as the second officers. Got third officers, which actually seems to be a little bit larger, interestingly. And then we've got the door outside here. So that's some of the quarters, but we do have more stuff up in the front here. So I've gotten this left open. So we've got this here. So we've got flight crew quarters. So these are actually like bunk rooms, so you can have multiple guys for your plane. So, you know, if you were to actually have like a flight crew, they would be bunked up here. That's the secondary flight crew. We got another ladder up here that goes up to the top of the ship on the bow. So not much to see up there. We've already been up there by those gun turrets, is what that is. I'm hoping that's not damaging the ship too bad. That's my biggest concern. So we've got deckhands. These are just kind of like the regular enlisted guys. So they all bunk together. This is another deckhand quarters, I believe. Oh, no, it's a briefing room. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. So they got kind of a dark room with like a projector on it. So that's pretty neat. So we've got these dark rooms down here. There's not really anything in this. I'm assuming this is all for like counterweights and stuff like that, but if we go down here to the end of the hall, we've got these double doors in here. Try and keep these sealed if we are taking damage. So you come down here and you get down closer to where that boat is as it gets louder and more obnoxious. We've got looks like a workshop here, so that's pretty neat. Yep, workshop, that's what it says. So this is the engineering. So down there's the actual engineering room. See if we can get down from this way. I didn't go this way. So this is the boiler. So this is actually the back of the engineering. So we actually activated this. When I activated it from the front engineering, but you can also activate these from, I guess, back here or up in the wheelhouse. We got that. Kind of neat. So can't actually get down to the engineering area from here. So we have to go different ways. So there's a door here. So this is tank control. But a lot of gauges, they're not actually hooked up to anything. If he actually makes this into an advanced engine, he probably could use every single one of those dials if you wanted to. So we've got the engine down there, which is just basically a mocked up, you know, fan on it just to make it look like it's doing a lot more than it is. So we got that boat hanging off the side. That's got to be what's making all the noise. It's hanging pretty still though. Not sure if it's that one or if it's the other one on the boat. You can see though, I mean, it's even damaged the decks above at this point. I'm not sure if that's going to have an effect. I don't see any damage on the side of the hull though, and there's no water down here. So the thing with the water damage in this is the water damage is actually very serious. You can take on water, you can spring a lake if you have that sort of thing happen. And as I've already said before, the systems to raise those lifeboats as well as disengage them from the ship so I can't just drop them off have been damaged. So taking damage on the ship can actually damage vital systems. So you can like damage rudder, lose rudder control. You could, you know, maybe damage your capability to steer the ship somehow. Although given the location of most wheelhouses and ship controls and stuff, that seems unlikely. But it's kind of interesting because it's cool because they have all these war things, and a lot of people are asking for guns and stuff, but we've already got like submarines that fire torpedoes, or kind of like mock torpedoes, and they've got some planes that fire or like can drop, you know, bombs and stuff, and they don't explode, but you know, it's interesting because they do, if they hit a target with enough impact, they could actually really do a lot of damage to a ship. I mean, especially if you get in the right spot, you could potentially knock out a ship's capability to steer, or knock out something in the wheelhouse, damage the actual steering controls of the ship. You know, and an advanced ship too, where you've got pipes running along the ship and stuff, you could even potentially take out the ship's capability to have a running engine at all. So it's kind of interesting thing here, an interesting possibility I don't think a lot of people have necessarily thought about. But we've got this. Let's go ahead. We've checked out the front of the ship, so there's a lot of cool stuff back or up here. So let's go ahead and run back this way. So along all these pylons we have deck locks, so if you have planes all along here, you can lock all of them into place so that when you're leaving, you know, you're not having issues. The plane's propeller is going. I don't think it's the plane that's having issues though, because the only thing that's damaged is the deck, and the deck wasn't damaged that far up before, so it's got to be the plane that's causing issues. Cat just pooped. Gross. So we've got the aft deck here. So these are also all assigned to people, so more living quarters for like the deputy engineering, just basically all the engineering guys. So let's turn the lights off because this is already on. Crew mess, which kind of wraps around there. This will actually kind of hop back in here, so that you got the crew mess, and then you've got the stovetop to help cook stuff for those guys. Got an officer's mess on the other side of that, so the officers have their own mess. And chief engineer and his quarters. So that's pretty neat. And we've got storeroom down here, which I actually have not been into the storeroom yet. So pretty basic. We've got a door that goes to some more quarters. So we've got the chef's quarters. So we got a couple of chefs that bunk together. Semi-private room. We got showers. There's a ladder there, but we're going to skip over that for the time being. We'll come back to it. So you got utility men's quarters, so a few of those guys. You got slightly more private quarters. Oilers quarters. Oh god, that's gross. Stokers quarters. So yeah, a lot of different quarters here, very similar. Another washroom. And where's this take us? Okay, so this is back down by the engineering. So that's a quick way down to the engineering too. So let's go ahead, head back up here. I think I left one door open, but that's fine. So let's go ahead. Let's check out the upper deck here if we can. I don't know if I will be able to launch this plane or not. So this is the elevator to get up here. There's also, it looks like, controls on the elevator itself. So there's actually lift locks in place, so these locks here will hold the plane into place when you're going up. So we'll attempt to launch a plane from this here tonight before we get off. Maybe we'll put this thing through some stormy weather too. We'll see what happens. So this thing, it moves pretty slow, but I mean, when you're putting like a movable plane and stuff on here, you know, you're gonna want to be kind of careful. I just don't know how we're supposed to be able to like viably get the plane on. It looks like there's some handholds there on the back, so maybe I'm gonna be able to drag it, or maybe I'll be able to push it or something. I don't know if the plane's gonna even work or not. Like I said, I've had a lot of issues with planes in the advanced mode not wanting to work. And obviously this boat's not running off of an advanced engine itself, so that shouldn't be an issue for the plane either, but it seems to be. So that raises up, and it's kind of cool. All the railings around it drop down through the cracks, and so now we've got just a runway ready to go. So this is an older style carrier, and so you can see there's not a raised command deck or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and lower this back down, and we're going to see about potentially launching a plane here. And then we'll put this thing through some rough seas. Actually, you know what? Let's so yeah, this is all the weather stuff's off, so we could end up running into weather and stuff. Actually, I'm thinking maybe we want to put this through rough seas once the plane's on the deck, and then worst case scenario, I could use the lifeboats to escape the ones in the front because they haven't been damaged at all. Although I don't see the way to lower them, just their locks, or at least what I believe is the locks. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a viable escape strategy with those or not. So we might want to see if the plane's a viable escape strategy. So this is actually just going to end up rolling right back on here. So I need to get over here real quick, and that's going to be an issue there. Should have folded the wings up. I would have assumed that if they need to be folded up to fit, they would have already been done so, or would have already done so in the mission, but I guess not. So I'm having some issues getting the plane up onto the elevator there. There we go, just push it, I guess. So the plane seems to be locked in place. It's on the elevator. Actually, that was surprisingly easy. I don't know if this thing's going to launch. It did look like it took a tiny bit of damage getting it up onto the elevator, but we'll see what happens. It does seem to be locked in place pretty well, though. It's not rolling at all, so we're getting up the elevator just fine. Yeah, this is pretty awesome, though. I haven't actually had a chance to use like a lift elevator on any of the stuff that's had it. And actually, one of the first mods I downloaded was a helicarrier with a working elevator, but yeah, never got to make use of it, so this is pretty neat. Yeah, we're heading on up here. See about spawn some bad weather, and we'll change and take direct control of the weather here, and then we'll go from there. So kind of going really slow here. I want to leave that right there on the elevator for just a minute. We're gonna go ahead and go back down. It doesn't look like there's any staircases further down by the wheelhouse, but I'm gonna go back to the wheelhouse real quick and just see what our speed currently is. Yeah, those lifeboats are really obnoxious. So hopefully he's, I don't know if he's converting all of his other vehicles, but I believe he is. One of his other vehicles was actually featured with a advanced engine on Devil Dog Gamer's channel, so I'm kind of hoping to see the same kind of conversion for this, but I'm not sure. So this, yeah, we're actually going pretty slow right now, so we're only going like a third of our full speed. So we'll go ahead and crank this up. We're going to start cruising by here. So just a quick look. You can't really even see the plane anymore. The plane fell off the boat, didn't it? Oh boy, the plane fell off the boat, guys. Oh yeah, there it is in the water. I can see it behind us with its wings folded up. Well, crap. So a good piece of advice is if you have a plane on the deck and you plan on launching it, either stop the carrier or make sure it's locked into place on those forward locks as well as the back locks. I didn't think it was going to come off like that because it was okay, but I guess when we cranked up the speed, that probably didn't help either. Okay, well, let's see what happens. So let's actually do this. Let's unlock weather damage, because you guys wanted to see what this looks like with weather damage on. So let's go ahead and check that out. So time of day and weather. So let's change the time of day too. So we're actually getting an increase of wind naturally here, but it's not a very high increase. It's only a 19% wind. So not very much wind. It's a little bit windier. You can tell the seas have gotten slightly rougher, but not too noticeably. So let's go ahead and let's see how this thing handles just a storm. Actually, let's spawn a tsunami, and everybody wants to see a tsunami. So let's go ahead and make it some real stormy weather. Get a tsunami going. So I don't know how well this thing's going to handle just rough seas with weather damage on. I'm not exactly sure what the weather damage will do. It will probably break the ship in half at the magnet point because this is attached via magnets. But I'm not exactly sure where that connection point is on this because I haven't actually built it together in this case myself. I used the mission that came with it where it was already pre-attached. So, so far handling the rough seas pretty well. Those lifeboats are swinging around pretty bad though. If we do end up needing to use those lifeboats, we are in trouble because they do not have an engine. So basically we're just going to be in a bathtub in the ocean. So, or out in the sea. I guess this isn't quite the ocean, but yeah, I mean, so far really handling itself quite well. It is very well balanced. Yeah, the biggest gripe I had really is those back lifeboats were freaking obnoxious, and that one is down there slamming against this hole now, so that could be taking on damage. None that I've seen. Actually, did it break off? No, it's under the water. It's extended further down. Yeah, no noticeable damage that I can see. That's where I'm worried we're gonna take a hit. Oh, whew. Getting low here though. So those are intakes on the front, I guess, which are used for scuttling the ship potentially. But I don't know if those are used in the case of the weather damage. We're approaching the approaching the tsunami, though. We got this big wave coming at us. It's not even that big. It's not even like a super huge wave, but this thing, the boat will probably get pushed through it. So put on the foghorn. Can't hear too much of it. Yeah, we're going. We're probably gonna go under here. I don't know if the ship's gonna break in half. A lot of these ships I've seen, these dual attached ships, you know, where it's 2-3 parts, and you hit big waves like these. I've seen a lot of them break apart after they've gone under the water. This might potentially kill my frames, so we'll see what happens. That wave is looking much bigger than the ones I've seen before, though. I wonder if they increase the size, or if maybe just it feels bigger because the carrier's getting sucked under the water so much. So let's go ahead and let's see what's going to happen here. This is the big one right here. Yeah, you can't even just wave in front of the boat. Oh, looks like we are possibly taking water down below too. Oh gosh, we're going under. Ship's trying to go with it, but yeah, we got water in the filling up real quick in the wheelhouse here. My character's thing showing that he's underwater. So there's levels of breathing underwater, and you can only survive certain depths now. The lifeboat is damaged. I'm worried that might. Oh gosh, I'm worried it might be potentially leaking. I gotta try and get up these stairs here. I'm not really in full control of my character because the boat's going around so much. Oh no. One of the magnets failed on that lifeboat. That lifeboat's off. Oh shoot, so is this one. Oh gosh, okay. Okay. You know what? We haven't sunk yet though. I was going to evacuate, but all of our lifeboats except for that one back there, which it's got really badly damaged controls and I can't release it. These fell off the ship. They've extended out. I don't know if it's what happened there. I don't know if it's their controls for lowering took damage, I guess. Oh man, that's not good though. So both of our evacuation plans have failed. You know, we had 2 of our lifeboats out of commission at the start of this, but the carrier itself actually seems to be holding up pretty well. Oh gosh. Oh, I might be over here. Oh, I got so lucky. Oh, my game's so slow right now though. I don't know if it's bad frames or what. Oh man, like I get lifted up in the air and then like I get swept away by the sea and stuff. I need to get back in here and try and get back in the. Oh no, there goes the other half of the carrier. It just split. So we need to. Oh gosh, we need to try and maybe time this. See if we can't get in here. That thing is done. Done skis, guys. I'm going down with the ship. It looks like. Oh, we're gonna try and time this. No. Oh gosh, no. Oh no. So we're in the water. We missed the lifeboat. The ship's going down. There's potentially sharks or something down here. I don't know. The front half of the ship's pretty much done now. The second half's faring slightly better. It's about to slam down on my face though. I don't know if there's any lifeboats left on the back half of the ship or if they're just completely gone. It looks like there's one in the drink here. Maybe I can hit the release on the lifeboat. It's underwater. I don't know if that thing's gonna float anymore. It doesn't seem to be floating of its own volition. It's just getting dragged along. Oh, look at that. That's eerie, just that lightning strike, and you just see the other half of that floating in the water. Oh man. This is so difficult. So I managed to release it, but it's lagging so bad. Oh gosh. I took damage. I think I got bit by a shark or something here. I'm not sure. I'm in the water. I can't even see what's going on here anymore. It's so dark. I was on the back of the lifeboat, and then like I just saw the tail rudder slamming down, so I don't know if we got hit by the boat and took damage from that. It sounded like a crunch. It happened so fast. I don't think it was a shark. I think we took damage getting hit by that tail rudder or something. I don't see any sharks in the area. They could be behind me or something. I also don't know of any way to heal. I don't know if I were to lay in the medical bed if that would heal me or not, but we're going to try and make it back to the lifeboat again. The Argus is first half, I'm pretty sure, is gone and underwater permanently. This lifeboat is it's largely submerged underwater. I don't know if it's just because of the waves. I think the design isn't really conductive because this seems to be floating actually relatively well still for what I thought was damaged. I guess this one didn't actually end up being damaged at all. We're going to grab onto this connector. We're going to try and hang on to it, I guess. That's really the only option I see here. We're actually going to grab onto both connectors. Oh gosh, look at that, guys. Oh man, oh man. That thing's actually really staying afloat though by itself. That back one. It's got to be taking on water damage, I would think. I'm actually really surprised. I thought for sure that wouldn't have hauled up just before the storm from all the damage it was taking from those lifeboats and the one hanging off the side at the start, but despite that damage, the stern of the ship is just taking an absolute pounding, and it just keeps going. That really says a lot about the design aspects of it. I mean, it's, you know, it's going dipping straight down into the water, and it's just making its way around like it's not an issue at all. Completely flat front. I did probably part of the reason that the front sunk a little bit faster is I think I left a couple doors open. You know, and they were interior doors. I don't think I left any exterior doors open. I didn't think, at least I might have. But I'm pretty sure that's at least part of the reason why that's the front ended up sinking faster. I don't know if I did that with the back or not. You guys will probably have paid more attention to that than I did while I was going along. But oh man, oh man, oh man, gosh, well, this thing's holding up. Let's go ahead. Let's back the weather off here. So let's go to time of day. So we could cancel a tsunami, but not really necessary. Let's see if we float back to the top. That thing's still handling itself quite well. I don't think there's any way for me to get up onto that. Oh no, there's a ladder there on the side. Something's taking damage. And I'm actually in the water here. I don't know, there's got to be another lifeboat still on there. That's probably the other one that fell off was probably still hanging from the side of the ship. We're going to try and make it to the ship. It is probably still got working. And, well, it's actually, no, it's not moving at all. I don't know if the engine's working anymore. It's taking damage on from somewhere. Let's go down below real quick. Let's see if we can't see if... oh yeah, the props quit working. It doesn't seem to have taken damage back there, but the way it was getting slammed around, I would be not completely surprised if it did somehow take damage, although I'm kind of confused as to where, because the prop itself doesn't seem to have taken damage. I mean, the lifeboats were swinging around down there, but I don't see anything apparent from that. We do have a lot of damage going up here. It looks like, oh yeah, the other lifeboat ended up on the ship and flipped over, so that was not helping out at all. Yeah, you can see the damage. It looks just like scraping. You don't actually have any like blocks or anything that'll disappear or break in half. When you're watching videos of ships actually breaking in half for this new update, it's actually just ships that are designed to break in half by the players, so they have like magnets and stuff, and I'm not exactly sure what the process is there to do that, but so I can't do anything about this. I was going to try and detach it and push it off, but it's flipped over and it's heavily damaged. But yeah, this thing held up insanely well, all things considered. I mean, we went into that damaged in the first place, and even in spite of that fact, you know, the carrier held up in extreme weather conditions. I mean, it went through a tsunami, it broke in half. You know, so ultimately we did have to we ended up having to evacuate the ship because we were on the front half after it detached. But the back half held up, and I wonder if maybe under different circumstances or something, the front might have held up too. I could have, you know, you don't want to turn your side to the waves or to the wind, but maybe if we had tried turning around and going with the waves or something, that we could have maybe done that, or if we had tried reversing course, if we could have fared a little bit better, but I'm not sure. Yeah, let's look. So, not much damage up here, just the stuff from the lifeboats, really. Awesome ship, though. I love the Argus. Pretty cool design. Pretty functional as far as, you know, landing aircraft and stuff goes, it seems. The aircraft that comes with it in this mission was really easy to use and push it off, or onto the ladder, at least I should say. I don't know if it was actually easy to control or fly. Unfortunately, we didn't get that far. But yeah, definitely worth checking out, guys. If you have Stormworks, I would say check this out. You know, maybe see if you can get playing with some torpedoes on it and see if maybe you can sink some other boats or something, or, you know, some dive bombers. That would be pretty neat. At any rate, guys, let me know what you thought of the H.M.S. Argus and that giant storm. I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.